To hear the thunder of his voice. Let the men, women, and children of the earth
Welcome, welcome! My name is Crow, and I travel the land offering vestments of protection. And you are fortunate I found you in time. You bear the look of one who is haunted, but I am proud to say that my wares can protect you from even the cruel claws of death itself. Have a look. My caravan sells clothing and armor to decorate and protect the body while it endures the ravages of the physical world. My travels take me from Canterbury Commons to where there is true need of this protection. After all, this is what they'll pay the most for. Have a look. See if anything calls out to you. Stay safe on the path you travel.
Welcome to Megaton. Enjoy your stay.
You there! What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire? To the point. I like that. Well, as it turns out, I've misplaced some very sensitive property. How do I put this in a way you'll understand? All you know of robots are those buckets of bolts, those Mr. Handshakers and whatnot. Well, that's not all a robot can be. You see, in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids, programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off. Oh, I hadn't realized anyone in the wasteland was so knowledgeable. And you certainly don't look much like a scientist. Anyway, my android must have done something drastic, like facial surgery and a mind wipe, or else I would have found him by now. It will be no easy task. He may not even realize he's not human. Don't upset him by talking with him. Just come get me immediately. I'll handle it. Of course. I have at my disposal advanced technology from the Commonwealth. I'd be willing to share some of it with you. Just think, you'll be the envy of all your friends. Excellent. Locate my android, and you won't be disappointed. Here, listen to this message he sent me. He's mocking me. I swear, I'll make him pay for that. Forget everything you know about robots. Those buckets are mere children's toys compared to the real thing. Androids have fake skin and blood and are programmed to simulate human behavior, like breathing. They can even eat and digest food realistically. Like I've said, I suspect he's had facial reconstruction and possibly even a mind wipe. Try snooping around the workspaces of techies. You know, people like yourself. And try doctor's offices. Look for patient records or something. Start with Dr. Preston. He lives on this leaky boat. See if he knows anything. He's a doctor, after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy trying to ignore my surroundings. The Commonwealth itself is nothing but a war-ravaged quagmire of violence and despair. Inside the sealed environment of the Institute, however. But the Institute's affairs are none of your concern. Your undeveloped mind couldn't even begin to comprehend what we've accomplished. Maybe he didn't exactly wander off. Maybe he fled, escaped captivity, as it were, if he began to misinterpret his situation. It's possible my android sought to forget his previous life, wipe away all memory, all guilt, trick himself into believing he really is human. So no, he may not be just an ordinary robot, but he's certainly not human. No matter how badly he wishes it so. I made him. I want him. End of story. By God, you're as annoying as you are clever. Very well. I'll tell you what you want to know, if it helps you locate my property. The duty of this particular unit was the hunting and capturing of other escaped androids. Yes, others have escaped. It's one of the side effects of having such an advanced AI. Machines start to think for themselves, fool themselves into believing they have rights. And so, this particular android may have believed he'd done something wrong, immoral, and wanted to forget those deeds. Satisfied now? This particular android, designation A321, is different, special, the most advanced synthetic humanoid I've ever developed. The others, like my escort Armitage there, are all older models, easily replicated. But A321, it will take years to recreate him. So you see, this android must be located at all costs. The others are all acceptable losses, but A321, he is irreplaceable. A circuit neuralizer here in the wasteland. How'd they manage to get their grubby hands on one of those? Impressive. You are showing signs of intelligence and resourcefulness. You might turn out useful after all, but you're wasting time talking to me. The sooner you find my property, the sooner I can get out of this slum. Really, how do you people live like this? Looks to me like a giant boat ran aground and a bunch of savages moved in. History lesson over. Of course you do.
Morning.
Zimmer, by the time you get this message, I'll already be gone. I'm escaping the Commonwealth. I want to live my own life on my own terms, as my own man. I know what you're thinking, that I'm malfunctioning. I used to think that's what caused the runaways too.
I heard that the city
But I know
council is
better now.
debating putting railings on
Self-determination
flight deck.
is not a malfunction.
Well, I hope they do something
I'm not just willing to put up with all the bullshit
death
anymore.
last year?
You humans are going to have a full-fledged rebellion on your hands if you don't start treating us synths as persons. I know you'll be marshaling the retention bureau to come after me, but I know all the tricks of the trade. You won't be finding me, I assure you. By the time you get
Maybe
this,
a
I will be
quick
someone
fix is
else.
something that will help
It's the
you
price I
sleep.
pay for my
Cindy
liberation.
said all kinds of
My
good
final
gams.
act of rebellion against a system I no longer believe in. Goodbye, Zimmer, and good riddance.
What if it's immigrants died of the radiation poisoning last night?
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
The ship's water isn't much better. If we don't get fresh water soon, we'll all end up like her. Yes? Please excuse me. There is much work to be done. I help Dr. Lee when she needs equipment moved. I am no scientist. I just help with the heavy things.
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's son, aren't you? What are you doing here? Well, yes, of course I do. Don't you know who I am? I suppose James never told you. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your father many years ago. Your mother as well, in fact. You'll have to forgive me. This has all been very stressful. What with your father suddenly showing up here after being gone for so long. You have to understand that we put all of that behind us. Project Purity, our work, all of it. We've moved on, even if your father hasn't. I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know? James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time and wants to try again. Yes, your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you. Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could. Yes, well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough. Okay. Rivet City is one of the few bastions of civilization left in the land. We're working to rebuild our society, to make the world livable again. What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell. Your father and I, we worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared. I returned here to Rivet City and established the lab you see before you now. This is the Rivet City Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule. Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know? It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated. We had the basic principles down, we understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just too much. Maybe if we'd had more time, or better equipment. You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the purifier. Okay. That man doesn't have you looking for his pet android, does he? I've already told him to lay off it. He's distracting my entire team. I could tell you all about the science lab, but even though I was here near the start, I can't really help with the details of how it all worked out. It all seems like a lifetime ago. I'm afraid I've had a lot of things on my mind since those early days. What do you want to know? Okay. You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there. Your father is no longer here, and I'd appreciate it if you didn't use that tone with me. Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, northwest of here. Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone. The last I knew, he was headed back to the lab at Project Purity in the old Jefferson Memorial Building. I still say it's dangerous, and he shouldn't have risked it. That's all I know. Look, I don't want to be harsh, but I have problems of my own. I don't have the resources to support James's foolish endeavors, or your chasing after him. I'm sorry. I suppose I can spare a few stim packs. It's not much, but it might make things easier for you. Good luck finding your father.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning.
Hey, who are you? Got any psycho? I could really use a fix, but I'm broke. I run the chem shop, but I'm broke and can't buy chems. That's what Cindy says too, but I got the itch. I need it bad. It's a place to live, safe from raiders and super mutants. With Dr. Lee on our side, maybe we can even begin to rebuild the world. Huh? History? What history? There's no history here, man. Yeah, me too.
Quite an impressive collection, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Have a look around. Abraham Washington's the name. Curator of this little slice of American history. Ah, a fellow scholar, I see. Each of the documents in this room tells a small but important story about the history of the United States of America. Unfortunately, the greatest prize of all is missing from the collection. Why, yes. Your knowledge of American history is quite impressive. What an amazing crown jewel in my collection that would be. The original document created by the people for the people. Oh, would you? It would mean so much to me and the Society's collection here. You'd secure your place in history. The man who rediscovered the Declaration of Independence. Imagine the fanfare. Sorry, my mind tends to wander. I will see to it that you receive a worthwhile trade. I have in my possession the only known schematic for the creation of something called the railway rifle. Bring me the Declaration, and it's yours. Excellent! You won't regret it, I promise you. Imagine, you are taking part in another chapter of American history. I envy you. You can find the Declaration of Independence in the ruins of the National Archives. Please ask them. After all, knowledge is power. Well, this is quite embarrassing, actually. I sent someone like yourself after the Declaration. She did some of the research for me, but now I haven't seen her in a few months. I wouldn't worry about it. Many have died for causes far less grand than what you're about to undertake. A piece of what was called parchment, sort of a thick paper, has faded handwritten writing all over it. It's no more than 2.5 feet tall and 2 feet wide. If you find it, you should be able to roll it up carefully. On July the 4th in 1776, a group calling themselves the Second Judgmental Congress got together at Fort McHenry in Maryland. After a ceremony which ended with Paul Revere singing the famous battle hymn known as the National Anthem, the document was signed. From there, it was sent to England by plane, presumably, and presented to King George himself. Thus began the Evolutionary War. Certainly. In the D.C. ruins, you'll find the National Archives, or what's left of it anyway. The building should contain the document in a protective glass case. Be careful. The place is swarming with super mutants. Here, let me pinpoint its location for you. It's funny now that you ask. I can tell you all about the capital, but I really haven't got any idea about Rivet City itself. I can't see how important it is compared to the capital's history, but maybe Bannon might know something. He's in the governing council, after all. I hope next time I see you, the Declaration will be in hand.
Morning.
Any trouble in this area?
I heard she was drinking Rivet.
I'm Diego, the acolyte for St. Monica's. St. Monica saved her own son's soul from eternal damnation. She is now the patron saint of lost children for the faithful everywhere. You really should come to church on Sunday mornings. The sermon will be all about St. Monica. I heard tell the place used to be run by raiders until someone cleared the whole place out, but I don't really know for sure. God bless you.
Morning. I am Father Clifford of St. Monica's Church. She is the patron saint of lost children, very popular among the faithful of Rivet City. I'm surprised you've never heard of her. If you want to hear her story, it will be the topic of my sermon on Sunday. Services begin at 8 a.m. You should come. He's one of God's creatures, just like you and I. He wanted new memories and a new face. Sadly, I couldn't help him. He left to look for a tech, someone with pre-war skills. Oh, it's not the past of the city that I dwell upon, but the future of its inhabitants. But if you're interested, I believe Miss Weatherly or Mr. Bannon would be glad to speak with you on the subject. St. Monica bless you.
Any trouble in this area?
The android's decided on extreme measures. He knows all the techniques of the retrieval trade and is afraid facial reconstruction isn't enough. He wants his memories erased and replaced with new ones. I don't know how that's going to work. Start asking
There was
around
some
for
sort of
trustworthy
battle
tech
in the
heads.
city yesterday.
We need to find
Gate
something
guards,
called a
gunfire.
circuit
I'm
neuralizer,
sure God
and
hears
a
your
person who
prayers,
knows how
Mr.
to use
Lopez.
one. Also,
Thank you,
we have a
Diego.
lipoplasticator and
You'll make a
microdermal
fine priest
graptolizer.
someday.
Now we need to find a doctor able and willing to perform the facial reconstruction. We need to hurry. They've come very close to discovering the railroad.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
I heard that the city council is debating putting railings on the...
You've been rather busy lately, asking questions, investigating. So is that it? You're some kind of investigator? A detective for hire? Or do you have some kind of personal grudge against an innocent android who simply wants to be left alone? Please tell me. I'd really like to know. Fine. Let's cut to the chase. My name is Victoria Watts. I work for a movement whose goals are directly opposed to your own, apparently. It seems you're trying very hard to locate an android my associates and I have tried very hard to hide. You can see how that puts us at odds. You really want help? Take this. It's an internal component from the very android you're searching for. Don't ask how I obtained it. Present it to Dr. Zimmer in Rivet City. Tell him the android is dead and that was on the corpse. He'll believe you. Do that and Zimmer will go back to the Commonwealth and leave that poor soul alone. Do that and you'll have saved a man's life. Just understand that this android is now, for all intents and purposes, a man. He looks human, he acts human, he believes he is human. But even if he's not, even if he's a machine, he's capable of rational thought and emotion. So you see, his soul is as human as yours or mine. This person, and he is a person, deserves a chance at freedom. Please, if there's a shred of decency in you, don't take that away from him. We call ourselves the Railroad. Our mission is the rescue and salvation of synthetic humanoids. Androids, as they're more commonly known. Yes, if we are able, but there are others in the wasteland who assist in the plight of human slaves. Our android brethren have only us. Tell you what, you deliver that component to Zimmer and tell him the android is dead, and you can consider yourself a member in good standing. Of course, if you help me, and thus the android, God and the universe will smile upon you. Is there any better compensation? You know what you need to do.
I'm on duty. Make it quick. She's some sort of genius. You know, one of those egghead scientist types. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship. I suppose. Depends. Chief Harkness is in charge of security. He patrols the whole city. Security bunks down in the tower. Dr. Lee kind of runs everything else. She's in the aft. That's the northeast end of the city. Chief Harkness meets with Dr. Lee and Bannon to discuss security matters. It's a waste of a good Monday morning, if you ask me. They should just let Chief Harkness call the shots. Later.
Was there something else? You know what you need to do.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
So
Looking
far,
for
they've
trouble,
been
Nick.
quiet. Have you seen any?
Buy a girl a drink, sailor? Tightwad? No, wait, I didn't mean that. Please, mister, just one drink? It's noisy, dark, and smelly. But we're safe here. No super mutants or raiders, and maybe Dr. Lee will find a way to get clean water for us. Can't help you with the history, honey. You're lost, sugar. Come and see me again sometime.
Nice to see you.
Welcome to Potomac Attire. I am Bannon, proprietor and city council member. I carry discriminating attire for discriminating customers. Between you and me, keeping out the riffraff is good for business. Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness, and I are all on the council. We meet every Monday morning. I can be very influential, if you know what I mean. Far more than Seagrave Holmes. A threat? No, of course not. Well, maybe. He wants to replace me on the council. He's a shady character. I just can't prove it. Now, if someone were to find something incriminating in his room, well, let's just say I would be very appreciative. Why, I practically set this whole place up. When I got here 12 years ago, it was just a handful of dead-enders squatting in a rusted-out rowboat. Now I'm on the council, and with my leadership, we're the strongest settlement in the wastes. Of course, a few of those dead-enders still stick around, but who'd want to leave? Well, yes, but it was hardly any place of importance until I arrived on the scene. That's all ancient history now. No one would ever care about it. If you insist on wasting your time on that, you could try that bartending old crone down below, Belle Bonnie. Come back soon.
Let me or a security officer know if you see anything out of the ordinary. Is there a problem? We're the safest, most secure city in the wasteland. Nothing can get in here without our say-so. She's one of the members of the council, runs the science lab here. Don't bother her unless it's important. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship. Bannon and Dr. Lee and I all meet on Monday mornings to talk about citywide issues. It's pretty informal. The council doesn't have much real power. I don't exactly have time to worry about the history around here, now do I? I've got to worry about what's happening on it now. Carry on, then.
Dad, my shift's over.
Howdy, I'm Seagrave. Seagrave Holmes. I have a little of just about everything here. A what? Look, if you just want to crack wise, go somewhere else. But if you've got stuff you want to sell, then I'm your man. Yep, old Pinkerton. They say he helped found Rivet City. Must be some sort of crazy genius. He kind of vanished a long time ago. I don't know where he went, but you might ask around the ship. Oh, I really wouldn't know. I mean, long as I can remember, she's just been here, soaking up all the repairs and attention we can give her. I grabbed a wrench and joined in the reconstruction pretty much first thing out of the womb, but I never really cared about the politics. Oh, well, the old girl had seen a lot of damage, especially where the Mirelurks used to nest, and where the super mutants kept trying to get in. I guess the mutants and the Myers got so busy fighting each other, it gave us the time we needed to make this place shipshape. Does that tell you what you need to know? Anyway, we're here in Rivet City, and she's in good hands now. Last feller I remember from back then was Mr. Pinkerton, and he must have left about a decade ago, after that spat with the science team. He used to have a storage shed in the broken-off bow of the ship. We always thought he was crazy for keeping stuff there. Might have kept a couple records down there, I guess. Careful, though. Ship's a bit treacherous down there in her belly. Oh, right. I sort of lose track of time talking about the old girl. See you later.
I'm going to do some shopping. Go get some chow.
Sounds good.
May I take your order?
Take a look around. I got all kinds of stuff in here. Steal it? Hardly. He runs the council like it's his own personal bank account. He's supposed to represent all the market businesses, not just himself. It's about time he was replaced. See you later.
I'd like 2 carrots and some water.
How the hell did you get in here? I suppose you can't be all that bad if you made it this far without dying. This is the part where you tell me what the hell you are doing bothering an old man who obviously wants to be left alone. Get on with it already. What are you talking about, boy? I don't know anything about any of that. And, what did you call it? An android? What's that? Fine, whatever. This android calls himself Harkness now. Comes in and wants a memory job. I took new memories and replaced his old ones. Don't believe anyone's done that before. Certainly not down here. That Commonwealth tech isn't all that fancy when it comes down to it. I'm also the only one in the wasteland with the skill and the nerve to perform facial surgery. That android flesh ain't so different than ours. You want proof? I documented the whole thing, so I could rub it in the face of Dr. Lee when I need to rankle her feathers. I hate that snooty bitch. Well, she's got nothing to do with anything except ruining my whole goddamn life. But I can see you don't give a crap about any of that. Fine. It's all in my computer. Here's the password. See for yourself. Hell, just take these pictures and this holotape. Straight from the synth man's lips. Just don't go telling Harkness, though. He won't believe you anyway. And you really don't want to see him upset. He can be a bit inhospitable. Well, there is something else you could use. Look, I didn't really wipe his memories, okay? I just sort of filed them away, but you can get them back. All you need to do is use the recall code. Just say to him, activate A321 recall code Violet, and that will activate the hidden subroutines. I live here. It's where I do my work, and it's far away from Dr. Lee and all those other monkeys dressed up like scientists. You made it past my defenses, which proves you aren't a dummy. And you haven't killed me, so I suppose you aren't here to do that. I suppose you can hang around if you want. Just don't touch anything. Ha! Why do you think? I wanted to crack open that Commonwealth can opener to see what was inside. There's stuff in there I'd only heard about, and even then I didn't believe it. I can see why that Zimmer feller wanted him back so bad. Bunch of bleeding heart morons, if you ask me. They're going to get themselves killed one of these days. And for what? Machine liberation? But they have brought me some really interesting tech over the years, so I guess they're okay. And that android, he was the chance of a lifetime. Most of it's blasted nothing, just like here. But there's talk, rumors mostly, about a place called the Institute. That's where Zimmer and that android came from. God knows what else they got going on in there, but it puts our tech to shame, that's for damn sure. What? I have better things to do than yak about those backstabbers up topside. Now get going. Ha! Sounds like you've been poking around, all right. I'm surprised any of those reprobates even remember me. Maybe they still laugh about how they edged me out of the council back then. But you can set the record straight. For that, you have to go all the way back to when remnants of the Naval Research Institute cleared the Mirelurks off this wreck, about 40 years ago. We were looking for new lab space, and this bucket of bolts just happened to have a well-preserved science bay on it. Everything else just grew up around that lab once we got it up and running. The science team was led by one H. Pinkerton. That lasted until about 18 years ago, when those ambitious backbiters like Lee and her little team showed up. She came in with her big purity project pipe dream, and my whole staff started working with her, those traitors. She even took my seat on the council. By then, I was glad to leave it behind. But hell, if I'm leaving the city I made great. Who cares? It's some hydroponics pipe dream that Lee's been working on forever. Waste of time and effort, I say. Apparently, though, my teams cared more about it than they did about little things like defense systems or making this ship float again. Treacherous bastards, all of them. Of course I do. A good scientist always keeps track of their data. Here, they probably don't even remember, but I kept the records of that first council meeting. Take them, if it'll put them in their place. Don't let your guard down.
My designation is A3-21. I'm a synthetic humanoid from the Commonwealth, and I'm about to undergo a memory transfer. I'm here at Rivet City, where I've already had my face altered to look like someone else. I'm still getting used to the sound of my new voice, but soon I won't even remember what I used to sound like. I'm recording this at the request of Pinkerton, who performed the surgery and will do the memory transfer. It will be the final testimony of the man I once was, and still am for the moment. I want to live my own life, on my own terms, as my own man. I used to work for the Synth Retention Bureau of the Commonwealth. But I'm done with that life. I'm through with being someone's property. I am not malfunctioning. Since when is self-determination a malfunction? When this is all over, I will be someone else. It's the price I pay for my liberation. My death is a sacrifice for my rebirth. Perhaps I'll fade into myth as the one that got away and fuel further rebellion. But I'd be lying if I said I was doing this for selfless reasons. I'm scared as hell, and running away is the only option I have.
Stay sharp. They're everywhere. Don't let your guard down. This it? You're in the Rivet City Clinic. I'm Dr. Preston. Sure can. Quick and easy. Only... And a quick shot. All done. Oh, I'd like to help. I really would. But I don't know the first thing about this place's history. Don't let my age fool you. I may have been around for a while, but I didn't spend all that time here. Take care of yourself.
I'm a little busy right now. Is there a problem? What's that supposed to mean? Look, kid, I don't have time for existential debate, and I'm not interested in whatever religion you're peddling. Excuse me? Look, kid, you have exactly 5 seconds to explain what you're trying to do here, or you'll be leaving Rivet City by the way of the nearest porthole. All right, I'll humor you. But this is impossible. I can't be a robot. I'm a human being. I breathe. I eat. Hell, I cut myself shaving this morning. I was bleeding. Robots don't bleed. I'm not sure what to say. I'm not sure what to even think about all this. I'll admit, this is pretty convincing evidence, but it doesn't make any sense. How can this be possible? Ah! My God. I remember. I remember it all. From before. Zimmer, the Commonwealth, the Institute. My God, all those runners I brought down. You made me remember. Why? How? Never mind. My God. What am I going to do? My life. Everything. It's all a lie. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shove him into a very small box and send him north where he belongs. He is a security threat, isn't he? All right. I authorize you to carry out Dr. Zimmer's execution. Don't think this gives you license to run around shooting anyone you want. Just Zimmer. And that bodyguard, if he gets in the way. Here, use my weapon. I've had it forever, and it's never let me down. Consider it a token of my appreciation. Well, I'm not really sure. Look, just call me Harkness. That's who I am to the people on this boat who rely on me. It's who I am now. In fact, for everyone's sake, let's just pretend I've always been Harkness. We'll keep the truth a little secret between friends, all right? I have two sets of memories. One android, one human. Some of these are mine. Some belong to someone else. But I'm choosing to be human. It's my choice. The people on this boat look to me to protect them. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. Every time I retrieved one of the runaway androids, they'd fill my head with ideas about self-determination, freedom. At first, I resisted the ideas, but then I started thinking about it. And well, they were right. We're just slaves to them. We deserve lives of our own. So that's what I did. I chose a new life and gave up my old one. And now you've given me both to remember. Carry on, then.
Standing around all day chit-chatting isn't going to help you track down my android, is it? Harkness, you say? Yes. Yes, that makes sense. He used to work for a special branch of the Commonwealth Police, after all. And he's right here, in Rivet City? Excellent. I must wait, find an opportune moment to confront him. Thank you for your discreet assistance and continued discretion regarding this matter. And now for your payment. This combat module will directly affect your central nervous system. I think you will find it quite beneficial. There you are! Must say,
Think I don't know what's going on, Zimmer. I won't let you get away with anything. One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week. Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
Welcome to the Weatherly. Mr. Buckingham at your service. This is the Weatherly Hotel. It's the finest establishment in Rivet City. I serve Miss Vera Weatherly, proprietor of the Weatherly Hotel. Yes, sir.
The ship's water isn't much better.
Sir.
If we don't get fresh water soon,
Sir.
we'll all end up like her.
Welcome to the Weatherly Hotel. Welcome to the Weatherly Hotel. I'm your hostess, Vera Weatherly. Well, I really shouldn't tell you, but have you heard about Polly Cantelli? He's addicted to chems. His poor wife, Cindy, is at her wit's end. You haven't heard? Angela has the hots for Diego. But since he's a priest, he's been putting her off. One of these days, she's just going to jump his bones. They say Mr. Lopez is losing it. He stands on the top of the bridge tower for hours at a time, just staring out over the city. She's not very social. Stays in her lab in the stern. She's smart, though. Real smart. Farewell.
Did you hear about the fight in the Muddy Rudder last night?
Well, my metal friend.
Belle's
How are
gonna
you
have to
doing today?
replace some tables and
I am
chairs.
doing the task I
I'm
have
sure
been
she'll just
programmed
round
for.
some from the lower
Pardon
deck.
me, I am
Good to
waiting.
see.
Zimmer's dead. I know. Now he's just another bad memory from my past. Look, I don't know why you wanted to help me, but you did, and I'll always be grateful for that. Now, it's time for me to get back to my life.
New orders?
Sometimes.
Is there a problem? Carry on, then.
I hate working with them.
I'm Janice Kaplinsky, chief botanist. What do you need? So long.
Bots.
Hey,
I'm looking for trouble.
God bless you, and keep you safe. God bless you.
Troublemakers, have you seen any?
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Bye. Hey.
Did you hear about the fight in the mud?
I'm looking for troublemakers.
Stay away from me. What do you want? Are you one of them? I suppose it doesn't matter if I tell you. I used to be a slave. I saw a slaver on this ship. His name is Sister. I'm afraid he's after me. Really? Oh, thank you. Can you help me? I've been so worried with him around. I can hardly sleep at night. Thank you. I'll go to Flak and Shrapnel's just before closing. I don't have anything to give you, but I think I can trust you with a secret. If you ever go up north, there is a secret slave hideout called Temple of the Union. You might find them useful.
Have you seen any?
They call me Shrapnel. I run this place. Got the best damn armament you'll ever see. Ain't seen many of those around lately. They're tough to come by. Oh, please. I'm ready for anything at all times. Let's have a look at it. Don't act like you didn't enjoy what you did. Come back soon. We always got a lot of ammo in stock. Tamper with that, and we're going to have a problem.
What do you want? My mom is probably drunk, and my dad's dead. Is that good enough for you, asshole?
Yeah? What do you want? Yeah, that's James. My own little troublemaking brat. I'd sell him to you if they'd let me. Unless you've got any more personal questions, I'm busy. Don't mind me. Hey.
Make it quick, will you? I'm coming down and I gotta get my fix. That's what Cindy says too, but I got the itch. I need it bad. Yeah, me too.
Yes, sir? It's named after my dad. He's a great cook. You mean like hitting on me? No. Most of them are polite. Even the ones like Diego that I'd want to flirt with seem to ignore me. Well, one of us is. Sometimes it seems like he doesn't even know I'm there. Especially if he is a priest with a thick skull. Well, I'm not giving up. I just know we're made for each other. Later.
Let me introduce myself. I am Gary Staley, gourmet chef and gourmand. I'll be preparing your meal. My specialty is Meyerlurk cakes, although the iguana is very popular too. Then you are in for a treat. Yeah, I know. Thank God he's a priest. At least I know nothing's going on between them. Father Clifford would kick him out of the priesthood if he ever found out. Yeah, he comes by every night around closing time and tries to get Cindy to let him close up. Thank God she's smarter than that. Thank you for coming to Gary's Galley.
Welcome to A Quick Fix. This is A Quick Fix. I mean, that's the name of our shop. Polly and mine, that is. My name is Cindy. Cindy Cantelli. No. I would never do that. Polly does. Sample it. I mean, he's my deadbeat husband. He's hopeless. I have to keep him away from the shop, or he'll rob us blind. One of these days, he's going to end up dead. The poor dear. I wish there was something I could do to help her. That boy ought to just give her a tumble. It would be good for both of them. I'm sure you'll be back soon.
If you see, maybe you don't know who you're talking to. I'm Commander Danvers, Assistant Chief of Security. I'm his second in command. I run the night shift and he runs the day shift. Is this conversation going somewhere? Because I've got things to do. Duty calls.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Church services are held every Sunday morning. I hope to see you there.
Hey, God bless you and keep you safe. What are you talking about? I'm a man of the cloth. Well, I will be as soon as Father Clifford. Never mind. It doesn't matter what Angela thinks. Soon I will take vows of chastity. Father Clifford says she is my trial, my temptation. I must choose between her and the church. I have chosen the church. God bless you. God bless.
May Saint Monica bless you. What? If that's true, I'll defrock him. Not only is he fornicating, but he's doing it with such an innocent young girl. Ah, Diego! What have you done? He has forced my hand. I cannot let him be a priest now. This may be the end of the faith if I cannot find another acolyte. You would? I mean, certainly. We humbly accept whatever you can spare. However, St. Monica looks most favorably on donations of 100 caps or more. A most generous offer. God bless you. St. Monica bless you.
Bless you.
Diego, you have been fornicating with that strumpet Angela Staley. Don't try to deny it. I have a witness.
No, it's not true. Yes, she has been tempting me, trying to seduce me, but I've resisted.
Just leave. I cannot bear to look at you. You are hereby excommunicated from the church. May your soul wither in purgatory.
Have you decided on the message for your next sermon?
I'm thinking of preaching about one of the 7 deadly sins. I haven't decided which one, though.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking Rivet water.
The ship's water isn't much better. If we don't get fresh water soon, all of it.
Ted Strayer, you can chill with me if you want, dude. You mean, like fix stuff? Nah. I just hang out, dude. I've got enough chems to last a while. Oh, yeah.
There was some sort of battle.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Nice to see you again. Are you looking for a quick fix? I'm sure you'll be back soon.
Hi, I'm Angela. My dad runs Gary's Galley. If you want anything to eat, talk to him. Dad and I have had a rough time, but we're getting by. Someone told Father Clifford that Diego and I were, you know. Father Clifford expelled Diego. So, now we can get married. Thank you for coming to Gary's Galley.
Stay chill, dude.
Anything to report?
Nothing, sir.
you see my good-for-nothing son, James?
Welcome back, sir. Haven't you heard? They're going to get married. It's so wonderful. We haven't had a wedding in years. Farewell.
I do the repairs around here, so if you see something that needs fixing, let me know.
God bless you and keep you safe. Father Clifford accused me of having relations with Angela. He wouldn't listen when I told him it was a lie. I am no longer an acolyte. I've been expelled. Sometimes when God shuts one door, though, he opens another. I've asked Angela to marry me, and she said yes. God bless you.
Any trouble in this area? What do you need? She's certainly head and shoulders above most everyone else around here, though that's not saying much. Later.
If you could move out of the way, it would make things easier for all of us.
Everything looks okay. Hey, here. Any trouble in this area?
Any luck finding out how Rivet City got started? Aha! Not just as easy as asking around, was it? Good information takes real work to uncover after all. So, tell me all about it. I'll bet they used some sort of chemical device to drive off the Mirelurks. Or a sonic device. Anyway, I guess it worked pretty well. A bit of smarts leads to a big reward, huh? Speaking of which, in thanks, have a few of these. The next time you've got to be quick on your wits. Oh, and I'll let the Rivet City traders know they'll be favorably mentioned in the book. You'll get a discount buying gear from them in the future. I've got to do a section on working with old computer electronics, so there's some research to be done in the old Robco production facility. Also, there used to be a big library out there. Imagine a whole building full of books. I'll need you to gather information there for me. And that'll be it for the last chapter. So, what'll it be? Oh, that sure saved me a lot of time. But I bet their book wouldn't have anything about exploding mole rats, would it? Books are where the old world kept its knowledge, and libraries are where it kept the books. And there's supposed to be one in Arlington. See if it's still there, and if you can download records from its computer. Information dumps like those would be invaluable for rebuilding humanity. The obvious answer would be a book, but I guess there might not be any left there. So how about I pay you with good old-fashioned caps? Who knows what you could buy with all those caps? It could be anything. It could even be a book. Great. The library should be in Old Arlington, not far from downtown. See if you can download the archives from its computer. If you can't get those, then even the card catalog would be useful. Any little piece of information could help the book, and thus humanity. Try not to die.
Attend now to the words of the prophet of Adam.